Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Go check out my website at skyazrael.com. Let's just get into today's topic. I want to talk about ways to be successful in life, predictors of performance. This is kind of a loosely based list, and this is pulled from traditional psychiatry. A psychiatrist will tell you this stuff. This has been studied. I got a really cool set of knives. I don't know if you guys like knives. I love knives. I'm a big knife guy. Anybody who knows me knows I'm a big knife guy. I like guns too. I got lots of really expensive, cool guns, but I love knives. I've always loved knives ever since I was a little kid. I got these antique Indian daggers. They're pretty cool. Now, it's a little small to me to be a dagger. You know, I think maybe if you're like a little tiny Indian dude, that's a dagger. For me, that's just more of a boot knife. I got a set of 3 of them. The cool thing about these knives, they're antiques. They're 150 years old or older. They were given to me by my grandmother, who's been dead for a while, but she has a whole storage room full of her shit. Stuff that my grandfather doesn't get down with. As soon as she died, half of the house went into a storage room. He's like, get rid of that, get rid of that. So I have a lot of the stuff you see on the wall behind me, and if I were to take the camera around, I got masks that have been trickling to me. When my mom goes to the storage unit, she sees what she likes, and then she sends me stuff, and she sent me a set of these knives. And these fucking handles are inlaid with different types of, there's ivory and onyx or obsidian, whatever it is, and brass and jade and quartz. That would be hard to do this type of inlay. Let's just get into the topic. Predictors of performance. You're not going to like the first one. The first one is IQ. IQ is a predictor of performance. Now, not everybody with a high IQ is successful, right? And that makes some of you dumb motherfuckers feel good when you hear that. Evens the playing field. Just because you have a high IQ doesn't mean you're successful. I'm a living proof of that. I'm not trying to brag, but I've been IQ tested when I was a kid in school systems, and your IQ doesn't change. I took an IQ test online a couple years back just to see. It was the same as what they had told me when I was a kid. Your IQ doesn't change. Now, somebody out there may argue with me about that and say that it does decline as you get older and that there's things you can do in order to keep it going. Maybe so. One of those things that I've heard was working out, physical fitness, bodybuilding, that keeps your IQ. Oddly enough, it keeps your IQ going. But I'm not going to argue about IQ. There's a good book by, who is it, Daniel Goleman, called Emotional Intelligence, and he talks about IQ. And the IQ test has always been suspicious. Culturally and racially biased for people that live on the other side of the tracks. If you grew up poor, you might not know how to answer some of the questions, not because you're dumb, because the fucking test is rigged against you. However, modern psychiatry, they teach you this in college, they still use IQ as a form of intelligence, as a predictor of intelligence. People with high IQs have an ability to figure out problems and also to successfully set goals and then to make realistic plans to get to that goal. Because it's a logical progression that they inherently understand because of the IQ. Another aspect of success, predictors of performance, is conscientiousness. Being a conscientious person is an aspect of being a successful person. Successful people have conscientiousness, have high traits in conscientiousness. Being able to give a shit about the feelings of others, but also able to self-regulate your own behavior. To be able to be self-aware and to realize when you're being an asshole, to realize when you're straying off the path, to realize that you can course correct daily, even in micro corrections, That takes a certain level of conscientiousness, because there's some motherfuckers that just think that they're perfect and they don't really think much about themselves. And you got to hit them on the head, bop them on the head, and they're like, oh. And some people are real honest and they're just like, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that. Well, come on, man, you know, wake up. You can be a little bit more on top of things in your own head and move faster without having to stand there on the side of the road having motherfuckers help you along. And that's kind of what that is. If low conscientiousness, these people need a lot of help. People who are successful in life, I'm not just talking about monetarily, but think about what does it mean to be a successful person? What would it mean to you to be the most successful you could be in all areas? Paint that picture. You're going to need some of these. To be orderly and industrious. Not everybody's orderly and industrious. Some people are real lazy and sloppy and their lives are a mess. Get on top of that shit. That's why Jordan Peterson talks about clean your room. Put some order in your life. And I've learned to do this as I've gotten older. I used to be real messy, real slob. And I've learned to be more orderly in just my environment, to clean up more. And what that's done is it's helped me to do the same thing with my mind. I can clean up my mind in the same way that I clean up my room. Being productive. You have to kind of understand the laws of physics. A body in motion stays in motion. You might be tired and lazy. Get up, go walk around the block. By the time you're halfway around that block, you're going to be thinking better. You're going to be more awake. You realize this on your commute to work. You may get in the car tired as fuck. By the time you're pulling into your job, you're pretty much with it. The body in motion stays in motion. And productivity is like that. It's about movement. And this is how you know that it works, because if you've ever experienced where, say you're making your list of things to do, you should be making lists. And the list isn't your prison, it's to help you, to guide you. As you get one thing done or two things done, you might want to put more on your list. I've made a list of a couple things. I'll do these 3 things today. Bam, all of a sudden I get them done rather quick. I didn't realize how quick I was going to get that shit done. I'm thinking of other stuff to do. Productivity works that way. A body in motion stays in motion. So orderliness and industriousness are traits of success, predictors of performance. You have to find motivators, internal motivators and external motivators, but you have to find ways to motivate yourself. Successful people motivate themselves. Now, it's not, being successful, goal acquisition, I should say, whether it's short-term goals or long-term goals, isn't all just about how motivated you are. However, you know that if you're motivated towards an idea, an outcome, you get a lot further with each of your movements. I've noticed this, that if I really want something, I have to look back in my life to kind of count up these scenarios, but when I've really wanted something, oh, I've gotten it. And I have to think about, well, what was it? Well, how did I get that? And can I apply that to another goal, another conquering, another acquisition? And the main aspect for me, it's not just simply the steps that I've taken. It's the motivation that I've had to get that. Well, I really wanted that, and that's why nothing stopped me. Find motivators. Successful people can find motivators. This is so basic that it's funny to even mention it, but successful people who are at a high performance level in life, they set goals. A lot of motherfuckers don't set goals. Do you have a 5-year goal? Do you have a 10-year goal? You should have 1, 3, 5, and 10-year goals. You should have a list of what you're doing today. Those are the goals for today. This is how you get profit out of your productivity. If you're not setting goals, you're not getting any profit out of your life. Are you in the same place as you were 10 years ago? Oh, goddamn. 10 years ago, I was 41 years old. A lot has happened. Oh my God, so much has happened. And the weird thing is it feels just like this daily grind. Almost feels mundane and boring, but so much has happened. This is basic. You want to stay away from alcohol and drugs. Motherfuckers who have alcohol addictions in particular, drugs are bad too, but alcohol destroys people. It's available everywhere. If you're drinking, you're taking 2 steps back in life for every step forward you take in any project that you're doing. It's holding you back. Stop drinking and anything that you're trying to do will happen faster. I guarantee it. It did for me. Stopping drinking was the hardest decision I ever had to make. That was so hard. Doctors told me, you're going to die if you don't. But that didn't stop a lot of other... I know people who just drank themselves into liver problems, and that's what stopped me, was a liver problem. It was the best thing I ever did. It was not easy. Successful people have relationships. You self-isolated hermits, you mountain men, you people that live alone, you've dedicated to this life of being alone, that is holding you back in life. Successful people have support groups, even if they're small. They have structures of friends. They have, I have another video about this, about confidants and connections. But rekindle your relationship with family. If all your family are dead, go and make some family. Your family can, your tight homeboys can be people from another mother. I got brothers that, even some of the people that I've met on this channel, I got some brothers out there that they're family. Educate yourself. That's the last one. I have others on this list, but this is a lot for you guys. It's a lot for me. Educate yourself. I know guys in prison right now who are doing time in Supermax. 23 hours a day, no sunlight. They'll never get to see a tree or a bird. All they get is a little screen on the top of the yard. The yard's probably the size of my living room. That's the only, and they don't ever get to shake hands or talk to other inmates. And these motherfuckers study 12 and 15 hours a day, teaching themselves other languages, teaching themselves history, philosophy, how the body works, how the mind works, how the soul works. Now, you don't have to go to prison to do that shit. You're free. I can't get motherfuckers to read a book. You're free. I can't get you to even read a book. Motherfuckers locked down are doing it. Why can't you do it and you're free? These are ways to predict performance. This is how you become successful in life. Write it down. It's all food for thought.